Yeah, what's going on, man? It's been a while, but here I am. A lot has happened. Like the background has changed a little bit to a mountain of dishes, and now that you have seen it, I'll have to erase your memory.
Sorry.
Well, let's cut to chase and get the way you're here. So I'm gonna give you the most complete and optimized settings for you, so you can play to your full capacity with nothing holding you back. So I'm gonna go through literally everything. I did a lot of research for this video and copied pros, a lot of pro settings, or I didn't exactly copy them, but listen to what they had to say, and then like multiple people's. This is literally like the most optimized settings for the current meta as possible. And recently, there's also been added like new color options to the settings, so you can change the enemy team and your own team colors. But I've literally been waiting for it for so long, because if you change this to this one specific color, the enemy team, you're literally gonna see them before they see you. I'm gonna show it to you, but it's gonna be here in the last tab, so it's gonna be at the end of the video. And if you literally change, it's literally like in the one click of a button, your KD will instantly boost and you'll get instantly more kills and see the enemies before they see you. So it's literally like cheats, but if you want to see that, you're gonna have to stick around until the end of the video here. But let's start. So this is just basic stuff, no options, invite only, on obviously. Display performance metrics, you can have this at minimal if you want it here, but it's just like clutter on the screen, and I don't like that, so I'll keep it like as little stuff on the screen when I'm playing as possible. It's not gonna distract me. But if you want it, do not put it on advanced. Like, you don't need to see all this stuff. Like, it's just extra clutter. This is enough. It's gonna say the same thing, but just minimal. But I recommend turning it off. And then connectivity feedback, do not put it on default, also for the same reason, on the icons only, because if you have the text here, it's just more glitter on the screen, and we don't want that. We want to minimize it as much as possible. And then dark glare on the stun VFX. This is like pretty new setting, but it was added like a while ago. So white glare when you're getting stunned is the like glare, is your screen gonna turn white or black? And obviously when dark, because you're not gonna get like blinded in real life too. So, and then tinnitus F. Well, what is FX, and what this does is when you're getting flashed, like the sound on the game when you're getting flashed, you want to turn this on mute, because you wanna hear what's happening around you, not the flash sound. So obviously you wanna turn this on mute. It's like the ringing sound. You can turn ring or wave. Why would you want that? It's just getting in your way, so turn that on mute. And then on this is personal preference, diffuser pickup, but I recommend if it's on manual, you have to get used to it, because I remember I once turned it on manual, and then I had like a situation where I thought I had the bomb I had to plant, but I didn't have it, because I thought I was so used to the automatic or both on. So both is the good middle ground. And then this you have to turn, there's no reason to have this off. You have to turn it on, because what this does is, like, there's literally no reason to have this off. It's gonna, when you're throwing a grenade, for example, it's gonna see the like where it's going, where it's gonna land. So why would you not want to see that? So obviously turn on this. And thrown after prep on manual. This is, it's on default, it's on automatic, which is very bad. You know, you don't want that, because what this does is, after the prep phase or the drone phase, not the phone phase, but the drone phase is done, it's gonna get you off of the drone immediately. But you don't want that. You want it on manual, because if you're in like a situation, getting the drone to a good spot, or escaping from the enemies from shooting your drone, and it cuts to 0 at the time, it's gonna just get you off of it, and they're gonna get your drone, or it's gonna be left out in a bad spot. So you want it in manual. And the match replay, on text channel is personal preference, but I have it on team, because if I put it on all, then the enemy team is just gonna talk shit and it's gonna get in your head. So I have this on team, but you can have it on all if you like chatting with like the enemy team and get on their head. By cross-play communication on. And then that's general settings, and then let's move on to HUD. HUD presets, custom, and here is the same philosophy as here. On the here. So you want this compass, it's gonna be right here. You want this to be on, the compass on, so you can see the name of the rooms and the directions in the compass. But it's gonna be on simplified. Current locations, you're gonna see the name of the current location, so it's good for callouts, but then everything else is off. Only the compass on, it's on simplified and on, so to like all of this is not needed. It's just extra clutter. So compass on, simplified on, and everything else is off. The current location is only one on, and then equipment loadout on, but loadout inputs off. Like you know where you're gonna reload and aim and switch your weapon. Like you know that stuff. You don't need to see it. It's just extra clutter. So loadouts on, so you can see your weapons and ammo and stuff like that, but loadout inputs off. And then same thing here, health number only. You don't need to see the health bar. That's just extra clutter on the screen. Number only is enough. And then status effect. It's gonna show the current status if you have any, and the remaining duration. So if you get hit by a lesion mine or anything, you obviously have to see those things. And then stance indicator, you know yourself when you're standing or proning or crouch, so you don't need that thing here to show it to you. And also it's just extra clutter, so turn it off. And we want to minimize all the clutter on the screen so we can see actually in front of us the best and not miss anything. And here, so obviously you want to see this, it's going to be the downing countdown, so you're going to see you're going to read here, show countdown to elimination while you are downed, and then critical warning, so if you're pinged or anything, if the enemy drone pings you, it's going to show here, so you want this on. But that's going to be it for the player status. And then reminders here for the same things, icons only for the action reminders to minimize the glitter, the future reminder. So what this does is when you're carrying the diffuser, it's gonna normally show like right here, and then the button to drop it. But we want to turn this off because it's just extra clutter, and you know yourself if you picked the diffuser or not, so you don't need the screen to remind you of it like all the time here. And then 50, so you can actually see past it, it's like a little transparent. And then action duration bar on, reload reminder on, general reminders off. Like this, you only need this on if you like downloaded the game yesterday. It's just gonna remind you to get off your drone and stuff like that. So that's gonna be it for the reminders. And then for the rectangle, so everything here is on except the top one is personal preference, but everything else is on. So what the top one does is with everything on, these two are for like the thing that you see when you're on the NDS. So with both of these on, you're gonna see the normal rectangle with the crosshairs and the dot, but with the crosshairs off, you're only gonna see the dot when you're on the NDS. And with my philosophy, this should be off, but I have it on because I'm just so used to it, and with it off, it just feels so uncomfortable. Especially with the shotguns, because very often with the shotgun it's close range fight. You're gonna shoot with like on ADS. You're not gonna ADS with the shotgun like a lot of times. And with only the dot on, you're not gonna see like the square thing like around it that's gonna show the bullet spread. So you're not gonna see where you're shooting fully. So it's just very uncomfortable. So that's why I have it on. But it's just personal preference. A lot of people have it on like off. And then for the environment, everything else is on except ally username. So why this is off, because it's literally just extra clutter and you don't need this. You can just call them out by their operator, so the ally icons, so the operator icon above the ally, so it's just extra clutter. And then everything else is on, and make sure especially the enemy outlines is on, because if you do not have this on, the tip that I told you at the start is going to be useless, because we're going to change the enemy team color to this specific color I'm going to show you in accessibility, and it's literally gonna be only like matter for the outlines. So you're gonna literally see the enemy outlines like outside of the enemies, and it's literally gonna be, your eyes are gonna see it instantly, so way before they see you. So make sure enemy outlines is on, but everything is on except ally username. And then match information, match header on, reinforcement pool on, route number off. You don't need this, just extra clutter on the screen. And then match updates on. You can see the eliminations here. If somebody gets eliminated, it's not like extra clutter because it's gonna show for like 2 seconds. And then bans off. Like when you download the game, this is on, and it just literally just always bans right here. Like it's just black, and people use the names like this goes blind, blah 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 blah. It's literally so annoying. So this has to be off. Score updates on, destroy drones on, because for the score updates, you're gonna see if you destroy the drone, so it's important to have this on. And the cams, you're gonna see the +10, and destroy drones on versus update on. So you're gonna see how many people, enemy teams, how many enemies are still alive. And then other, sorry about that, gameplay warnings on, operator cards on, observation panel on, voice chat indicator on, and operator guides on. It's just on. It's like all of, you can have all of these off if you want, except this one is very important to have on if there's multiple observation tools. So it's gonna show the observation panel here when you enter the observation tools. So that's it for the HUD. So then for the audio settings, we're gonna be spoken language English and menu and subtitle language English. Well, this is just personal preference. You can put this to whatever you're the most comfortable with and know the best. And then subtitles off, it's just extra clutter here, so it's gonna be off. Dynamic range, this is very important for it. It's literally the best audio, most important audio setting in the game. So we're gonna put this to low. So what this does, on high, I think it's on default, it's gonna be on high. So what this does is gunshots and explosions sound realistic while enemy movements are dynamic and responsive. So everything is like realistic. But here on the low, what it does, and this, you have to put this on low, so compresses volumes by lowering the loudest sounds such as gunshots and explosions. So when a gun is shot or breach is exploded or something, it's gonna lower that sound and reduces the immersion and realism, but helps avoid auditory fatigue. And then what it also does, it increases the it decreases the high loud sounds, and it increases the small sounds, so footsteps, what you need to hear. So basically you're gonna hear everything, hear everything better. You're gonna hear everything better. With this, it's just gonna be so loud and all over the place. But here you're gonna actually hear the enemies and the footsteps and know exactly where they are. So this has to be on low. And then tinnitus, we already went through this. And then all of these are just personal preference very much, so you can just copy mine if you want. I don't want in-game music or no musics, and then everything else is 100. And then voice over volume 75, and then voice over presence are minimal. So it's literally just extra clutter on the audio side of things. So that's gonna be a minimal. And HQ voice over, it's literally just extra clutter again, because especially at the end of the game when it starts telling there's not time left, it's gonna be speaking in your ears when you would actually need to hear where the enemy is, because that's a really crucial time, the last seconds of the round. So you don't want the announcer to be shouting in your ear the whole time. And then mute and unfocused off. You can have this on if you want, it doesn't matter, it's just personal preference. And then put your audio input and output devices here, and voice chat should be enabled so that you can hear teammates giving you callouts, which they never do, but maybe on the one perfect day, and maybe in some dreams, they're gonna give you good callouts. You're gonna have good teammates, random teammates, but that never happens. And then voice chat volume to 50, so even if they're shouting, it's not gonna be you can still hear the game. Push to talk, and these are just personal preference. Hello Kitty mug water break. And then for display settings, so here you're gonna have your GPU monitor, so you're gonna choose yours here. It's gonna say a different thing for everybody, but you're gonna choose your GPU monitor. And then I would not recommend going over 1080p if you're gonna wanna maximize performance, because there's just no reason to. The game, having better graphics is not gonna make you any better at it. It's just gonna sacrifice the performance. So if you want to take it seriously, I would not recommend going over 1080p, but if you're just here to have some fun, then you can go as high as your monitor and PC allows. And then display mode has to be on full screen, because these limit the aspect ratio and the hertz. So it has to be on full screen for the best performance. And here for the refresh rate, you're gonna choose the highest, obviously, for the best performance. So my screen is 240 and yours might be 144 or 75. Before this I had a 75, which I played on for years and years and years, which was 240 has to be like the I think 144 is the like the standard now, but 240 is it's just crazy boost. Like you have to get to 240, man. Like the gameplay performance boost is insane. So, but as high as you can get, and then maybe save up for a better monitor if you can. If you're running like some 75 like I was for a while, trust me, bro, it's literally gonna change everything. And then aspect ratio. The rule here is, it's really personal preference, but most pros run 4:3. This is what most pros use. And the rule here is the more stretched out it is, the faster the game feels, and the more slimmer it is. So the default is gonna be 16:9. That's what the game looks by default. It's gonna be more slimmer, and it's gonna be slower. So if you're like into those, you've seen those edits and stuff, they like flick everywhere and move fast, then you're gonna be wanting to play. Most likely I would want you to try 4:3. This is very personal preference, but this is what most pros use, and it's gonna make the enemies look like more stretched out and bigger, but they're gonna be also faster. So if you have fast reflexes, then go more stretched out. And if you're more of a chiller player and don't like to rush and like flick everywhere, then 16:10 is perfect for you. I would not recommend going 16:9 because this is just better. It makes the like the enemies a little more stretched out and bigger, but it doesn't make them much faster at all. So 16:10. I would like you to start from 16:10 and then move your way up, but try this first, and then stick to what you like the most or are most comfortable with. That's the most important thing. Try this out and stick to the one you're most comfortable with and enjoy the most, and that's gonna make you play the best. And then VSync off, it's gonna limit the performance. FPS limit off, it's gonna obviously limit the FPS, so the performance. And widescreen letterbox off. On field of view, this is personal preference, but I would not recommend going below 83. That's like the golden standard here. No pro ever. I don't think there's single pro that plays below 83. Like this is a good range. Like among top high ranking players, they range from 83 to 90. So with 90 you can obviously see more, but it's gonna be a little smaller because it's a little further back, so you're gonna see more, but everything is a little smaller. But I like to be on 90. It's like for some reason on 90 the game just feels a lot smoother. Like it just feels so smooth. It looks so nice on 90, and I can see a lot more, so I have it on 90. But the most common ones are 83 or 90 or anything in between. And then display area 100 and 100. So that's gonna be everything for the display settings. And then not so fast, there's still the brightness, and this is actually very important. I didn't say it because it was like weirdly like here. 60 is what I recommend, and it's normally at 50, but look how dark it got. How can you see enemies in this? Get me back to 60. Get me back home. There we go. So I would not. The one thing you need to do is not run 50. Like I would recommend 55 or 60, but 60 is the sweet spot for me, I think. And no pro was running 50. It was always 55 or 60 or even higher, but this gets a little too bright. You could try 65 if you want, but 60 is the sweet spot where you can see the enemies in dark rooms more clearer, but it's not like you get flashbanged. So yeah, 60 is the sweet spot. And then for the graphics settings, so this is where the pro settings shine the most, and the key here is literally to turn everything to low or off except these two settings. So everything to low or off except these two settings here. LOD quality to absolute maximum, because it's not gonna sacrifice the performance at all. It doesn't even show up here because it's so small. It's not gonna sacrifice the performance like basically at all. And what it does, it's that you're gonna see more clearly things far away. So if enemy is far away, you're gonna see it more clearly. So yeah, the distance at which lower level of meshes are used. So it's not gonna hinder your performance much at all, and it's gonna make you see the enemies clearer at a distance. So you're gonna have this at ultra plus max, but then the shadow quality gonna be at medium, because there's spots at the map where you're gonna see the enemy's shadow in the ground. and it's gonna give you the advantage, and you can just breathe their head off. So especially in like outdoors, there's this one spot in Clubhouse in the garage rafters. There's this spot, you probably know it already. It's a very common spot, so that's one. And the outdoors, when you're attacking and you're holding rafters as a defender, you can see their shadows at the left side of the door. But that's like the most common example. So everything else off, like this is literally like every pro uses these settings. Like literally every single one had the graphic settings like this, and it's for a reason. It literally boosts performance like crazy. Like just get rid of all the extra stuff that's not gonna give you an advantage. So LOD quality to ultra plus, and then shutter quality to medium, and everything else is low or off, like at the absolute off or low to give the best performance. And then for control settings, we're gonna quickly go over both PC and console. So let's start with PC, mouse and keyboard here, obviously, because it's first. So drone speed boost, it's gonna be personal preference, but I have it on hold, and most likely will most of you guys do. And then raw input is gonna be on, because when it's on, it's gonna register quicker, like the clicks and the clicks. Oops. And then mouse look inversion is going to be disabled. Why would you want that? Why would you want that? It's going to be go in the opposite direction where you swipe it, so obviously disabled. And mouse sensitivity, what you want here, the trick here, this is literally like the biggest trick here, and I'm literally gonna give you man, you're lucky to click this video. I'm gonna give you some sauce right now, and I deserve at least a like for this video, don't I? I'm gonna do so much free sauce here. All the pro settings are in, especially the last setting here. So please leave a like if you can, and maybe subscribe to your boy. And then, but I'm gonna show you here. So the secret trick here is you're gonna go to shooting range. This is literally free sauce for you right here. I'm gonna literally show you how to find your setting, like your sensitivity. I'm showing it to you right now. So you're gonna pick operator. So I'm literally gonna show you how to find your personal best sensitivity. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna look at an object like this here, this little thingy here, and then you're gonna look at it, and then you're gonna put your mouse as far left in the mousepad as you can, and then so most likely against the keyboard, so right here, and you're gonna look at it and then swipe as far right as you can on the mousepad. As you can see, it's as far as it can, or it's gonna fall right here. But as you can see, again, look at the screen too. Look where it lands. Look where it lands. You're gonna do a perfect 360 with the sensitivity. So for me, it's gonna be, so you can see, 7, and for you, it's gonna be different. So perfect 360 from the far left to the far right side of your mousepad. And then once you find that, you're gonna go over to options and controls, and this is gonna be the ADS sensitivity. You can try out with 1x or 2.5x, and when you find the comfortable one you're comfortable with, you're gonna for either one, you're gonna, if you find 50 good on 1.5. So this is it says 2.5, but it's 1.5. So for the 1.5 ACOG, so this is the ACOG scope and this is the holo scope. So if you like 75 here, for example, you're gonna do the 2/3 on the 1x. So 75, 50, or if you find 50 here or whatever, you find like 20 here, you're gonna put 30 here. I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but I'm trying here. So here it's 2/3 of this. So this is always half larger, if that makes sense, because that's gonna make both of them the exact same. So with the same swipe, it's gonna move the same distance. And then we're gonna go over to mouse scroll enabled. This is personal preference if you like switching the weapons with the mouse scroll. And then gadget deployment is gonna be on advanced. This is very important, you gotta put it on advanced. And then drone deployment is gonna be on advanced as well. And then aim, this just makes you have more control over like the gameplay. And then aim is gonna be on hold. It's just personal preference, but most likely you're gonna have it on hold. And then lean on toggle. It's very important to have it on toggle, so you don't have to hold on to it every time you're leaning, so you're gonna have movement, like more freedom of movement. And then sprint It's just all personal preference basically here. Blah, 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 blah. And this is very important. Right here. Literally the first setting. Scoreboard. Another Hello Kitty mug. Water break. And throw this getting sold. Alright, so scoreboard. You have to have this on undefined. You cannot, because this is literally, it's just gonna get in your mind. When you're gonna see see yourself getting those kills and climbing on top of the leaderboard, it's just gonna get in your head and overheat. You're literally just gonna overheat so easily if you see how many kills you have. So this has to be a fun. And on default, it's gonna look like this, and there's no way to like put it to undefined like by. I'm gonna show you how to put it to undefined, but it doesn't say like press this to put undefined. Oops. So I'm gonna show you how to put this to undefined. So you literally have to turn this off here. It's not gonna get in your head. You can just see after the match is over how many kills you had, but not in the middle of the match. You're just gonna overheat and just get egotistical and rush and die. So you have to turn this off. And then the way you do this is just press something else that already exists. So let's put T here. It's gonna take this away, put this to undefined, and I just put the T back in here. Bam! Now it's undefined and you cannot see the scoreboard when you're in game. So that's how you do that. You have to turn this undefined. You have to turn the scoreboard off. That's literally gonna make you not overheat. Quickly for the controller options. Vibrator. Vibrator. Vibration. Vibration disabled. Trigger effect disabled. Gadget deployment advanced. You don't want it to start vibrating once you're playing. It's just gonna mess your aim up and everything. And trigger effect disabled. This just makes it like harder to press down, like it's like a real gun effect. You don't want that. It's just gonna make it more difficult. And then also look at my controller, by the way. Custom controller with 4 back paddles. Is this stuff? Yes. Yes, it is. Looks clean. Because I play on PC but on controller. So yeah. But then drone deployment is gonna be on advanced, or I use both, but I like to be on controller because that's what I grew up with. But then gadget deployment advanced and drone deployment advanced as well. Just for the same reason, more like freedom to move. And then leaning behavior, you have to put this on alternates. Like what it's gonna do is that when you're gonna stop leaning, like when you're leaning, when you're aiming, when you stop aiming, you're still gonna lean on ADS. And this is turning this off and to default is not good. Having this here is the only way to lean on ADS on the controller, which is very important to have the ability to do so. And then all of this is personal preference. And then look inversion disabled for the same reason as the mouse. Why would you want that? And then controller rotation to classic, not to update it to classic. It's a lot smoother and better. Literally everybody has this on classic in the high ranks. Everybody you watch that plays on controller has this on classic. Go watch their setting video. They literally have it on classic. It's literally way superior to update. Like, this is trash. Classic is the way to go. And then vertical sensitivity, it's all personal preference here. But the way to find your own, I'm gonna show the same trick that I don't have. The way I'm just gonna demonstrate. I don't have the wire with me here, no, but I'm just gonna show it. So the way you do this is you have to be able to do it like a good 360. So this is for the horizontal, this is for look around. You have to be able to do a natural 360 in a direction without thinking about it. So you have to be able to do a 360 without thinking about it. So that's how you find your sensitivity on the controller, and then just find your ADS sensitivity by messing around. And the thing here is the 2.5 has to always be half more than the 1.x, so that's gonna make it move the same distance when you're aiming, because this is for holos and this is for ACOGs. It's gonna move the same distance. And then aim, hold, it's just personal preference, but most likely you're gonna want to have this on hold. And advanced controller options. This is maybe like personal preference, but nobody really uses this. It's just extra nerd stuff, and it's not gonna be much of a, well, if you're running a really low sense, then you're gonna want to turn this off and just look for the good ones. There's because I don't use this, I don't know much about them, but neither did any of the good dudes in the videos either when I looked for the races for this video. But if you're running a really low sense, you're gonna have to want to turn this on, because what it does is it ramps up the speed more when you're turning it. Like for the sensitivity horizontal look speed. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the controls. And then for the privacy, there's not much to do here because everything is gray and I can't even touch this. But there's not any reason, even if I could change this to turn anything on. So everything is gonna be off. And now for the moment you've been waiting for. The one setting I told you about, I'm gonna show it to you right now. It's literally gonna make you see the enemies before they see you. Let's get into the good stuff now. Finally the moment is here. And you can already see it, but let's get through this boring stuff here first. Screen shake and intensity off and motion blur off. So what these do is you're literally just shooting yourself in the foot if you have this on. I'm just gonna literally just, where would you want that? Like your screen shaking or motion blurs, like where would you want to do that? You can even see where the enemies are, you can see what's in front of you, or just shooting yourself at the foot if you have this medium or default or on. So off. We already went through these three, and now finally the moment is here. The moment has come upon us. So here you can already see it's gonna be yellow, and I'm gonna explain to you why you have to turn it on yellow first. So first, your team color, it's personal preference. I have it on purple because it's my favorite color, but then it doesn't matter what you have your own team color on. It's just whatever you like the most. But this is not a personal preference question on the enemy team. You have to turn this on yellow. Even though I don't like the yellow color too much, you have to turn it on, because it is the first color your eye perceives. As you can see, what is the color the eye sees first? Yellow. So your eyes are gonna see the color yellow first, and because there's not much yellow in the map, in the maps there's not a lot of yellow, much at all. Where can you see yellow in the maps? Nowhere. So the enemies are gonna be outlined with yellow, and it's the color the eye perceives first. It's gonna see colors, everything has color, but it's gonna see yellow first, so it's gonna catch the eye first. And most people have this on red or whatever color, or orange, but not a lot of them have it on yellow or purple. I've seen so many people are on purple, have it on purple for some reason, the enemy team colors, which I get, it looks cool, but this is gonna give you the advantage. The enemies are looking for the fun, for the what looks cool, but you're looking for the advantage, and you have the advantage right here, because you're looking to improve and become the best you can. So you have to put this on yellow. This is literally a direct order to you. You have to turn it on yellow. There's no other option. All of these, there are no other options. All of these are gone. Only yellow remains, because that's literally going to be able to make you see them before they see you, because yellow is the first color the eye catches. So if they have it on anything else than yellow, you're literally gonna see them first, because yellow is the first color the eye catches. So they're literally gonna be outlined with yellow, and you can see them instantly and shoot their heads off. And then all of this is just personal preference here, except optic color, I have it on purple. It's just because, again, it's my favorite color. And then, but the optic capacity, here it's all pretty much personal preference, but I wouldn't recommend going with white or black, because a lot of the stuff in the maps is white or black, and it's just gonna blend in. So anything else, I would recommend a bright color, like a light purple. It's gonna it's not gonna blend in the map. But then the optic opacity is gonna be at 75. This is what Stompen uses, for example. A lot of they range from 80 to 50, but 75 is a very good middle ground. And do not use it at 100, because you won't be able to see through it. If there's if an enemy is far away and your cursor is right on them, you're not gonna be able to see them, because you can see a little through the crosshair or the optic. So you're gonna have to put this at 75. You can see a little through it. It's not gonna show much through it, but enough so you can see if the enemy is behind it. So you're not gonna cover the enemy with the crosshair or the optic accidentally. And then off, 100, and transparent. So that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, and you better have, because I put a lot of effort into this, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos like this. And I'm gonna be posting a lot of Sorry about that. A lot more frequently from now on, because I moved into another country with my wife, and I have to get this to work so I can provide for her and for our future family and everything. So please, it really would mean the world to me if you could subscribe and leave a like, and if you have something to say. I'm gonna be replying to every single comment this video gets, or at least leaving a like. So please say something. Please say something, please. And then yes, so it's gonna be like that. And just a reminder again, yellow is gonna be the anime team color, and you have to change this to yellow. If you don't, I'm gonna come into your dreams forever. I'm gonna be in your dreams forever and ever. So nightmares forever if you don't turn this to yellow. I'll see you in the next one. God first, God bless.